have a smooth and efficient meeting. But let's first start to look at some practicalities. And there the recording went. That's great. This recording will also be published on our YouTube channel, so you're aware for rewatching in the future. It's important that you know that there's an online declaration here. Your name will be displayed in the chat and also in a participation list. And please only use the chat for technical questions throughout the day. We have Slido available throughout this meeting today, where you can ask all questions related to the call, the topics, and the partnership at large. And on the next slide here, you will be able to see the QR code. And you can also just enter slido.com and the number you see here to get to the correct screen. So please use that. Try not to use the chat for technical questions. Only use it for technical questions and Slido for information questions. Right. I see many people are still joining, which is excellent. So let's just jump to today's agenda and also run through that slowly. We have a lot we're going to go through today. We're going to start with a welcome and some practicalities that were already done. And we have a colleague of mine going through an overview of the partnership. We're of course going to give you the information. May I ask people to mute themselves throughout the meeting? That'll be great. Thank you so much. We're of course going to give you the information about our joint call 2026, as well as navigating you through other parts of the partnership when it comes to finding partners, matchmaking, our different network communities. And we're also going to run through the topics on which you can apply under through our call modules. We're going to do a 5-minute coffee break at 11 o'clock. Then we're going to continue with the majority of our call modules. And we're going to have a quick look at the submission platform before we enter into our general Q&A session. And this is where your Slido questions that you've been asking throughout the seminar will be answered by me or Maria or other colleagues in the partnership. And then we'll have some closing remarks and wish you good luck with the application. But without further ado, let's jump straight into it. Next slide, please, Adnan. May I ask Christina, my colleague, to join us to talk a bit about the CETPartnership at large? Christina.
Oh, thank you very much, Ragnhild. Hello, everyone, and a very warm welcome. My name is Christina Starboy, and I am the co-coordinator of the CETPartnership. It is my pleasure to see such a strong turnout today, with participants joining us from many countries and sectors. In the next few minutes, I will be introducing the CETPartnership, what it is, why it matters, and how it creates opportunities for you as a potential applicant. Next slide, please. So let's start with the bigger picture, why the partnership exists. We're all aware that achieving climate by 2050 requires urgent action and, importantly, coordinated innovation. Historically, the energy research and innovation landscape has been quite fragmented across countries, sectors, and disciplines. Joint platform that connects these. It brings together stakeholders to accelerate clean energy transition on a global scale. Not something a single country or organization can do alone. Next slide, please. So, what the CETPartnership, what is it in practical terms? So this is a transnational research and innovation partnership focused on clean energy transition. We fund collaborative projects that develop and implement clean energy solutions. Importantly, the partnership is co-financed by the European Union and more than 30 countries, making it one of the largest initiatives of its kind. We support both technical innovation and systems level approaches, ensuring that solutions can actually be implemented at scale. And our work is strongly aligned with the broader European strategies like the SET Plan and global strategies like Mission Innovation. Next slide, please. A key concept within the CET partnership is the Transition Initiative, or the TRI. A TRI is essentially a collaborative thematic area. It focuses on driving progress in a specific part of the energy transition. Each TRI brings together experts, funders, and projects working towards a shared goal. Together, they form the backbone of how the CET partnership structures its activities and calls. Next slide, please. So here you can see an overview of the different TRIs. Each one addresses a key challenge within the energy transition, the clean energy transition, that is, from technology development to systems integration and implementation. For applicants, these TRIs are highly relevant as they define the thematic scope of the calls you will be applying for. You will hear more about the TRIs later in this session. Next slide, please. So let me briefly highlight some of the key figures that show the scale of this partnership. The CET partnership mobilizes over 100 million euros annually, and with contributions from more than 40 funding organizations and co-financing from the EU. Over the full program period, which has stretched so far from 2022 to 2027, the total funding exceeds 700 million euros. We involve over 30 countries, including EU member states and associated countries and global partners. This scale creates unique opportunities for international collaboration, which is a central requirement and a strength of our calls. Next slide, please. Finally, I'd like to emphasize the global nature of the Clean Energy Transition Partnership. As you see, countries from across Europe and beyond have been involved since the start. This international dimension allows us to combine expertise, shared knowledge, and develop solutions that are relevant globally and not just locally. For you as applicants, this means access to a broad and diverse network of partners. Next slide, please.
I think that's it, Christina.
Oh, that's it. Oh, yes. Sorry. Then maybe I can just round off. Sorry, Ragnhild. With this introduction, I hope that everyone has a clearer picture of what the CET partnership is and why it matters. I guess I'll leave it over to you now, Ragnhild. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Christina, and thank you for giving such a thorough introduction of the scope that we're working with the partnership. And within this scope, we create annual calls, such as Joint Call 2026. Now, this part of the presentation will look a bit more into the call-specific topics and the requirements and such. But I first wanted to introduce a bit the call management role in this. So next slide, please, Afnan. So my name is Ragnhild Ganger, and I have my colleagues here with me as well. And we are the call management for the CET partnership. And our responsibility is basically preparing and publishing the call. We're managing application submissions and compliance checks, eligibility checks, and coordinating all these different processes together. This also includes the evaluation process and reviewing process. And we also are responsible for communicating with applicants throughout the call, but also at the end of the call. It's important to know that if you are successful with your application, when it comes to a contracting phase, this responsibility of communicating with the applicants move over to the knowledge community, because then you're sort of in the CET partnership family. So that's a bit about us. Now over to the call. So Afna, next slide, please. As I mentioned, we do annual joint calls. And in these annual calls, we have call modules. And as Christina was talking about, these call modules are drafted by the TRIs, our expert groups, so to say. Our funding organizations, they choose which call modules they would like to participate in. So it's very important that when you find a topic of interest, you need to go and check if your funding organization supports that topic. So just how the structure is fundamentally made. Next slide, please. Perfect. Okay, we're going to talk a bit about the general call process. So next slide, please again, Afnan. So we have a 1-year call with a 2-stage procedure. So that means that we're now in October entering into the pre-proposal stage. The deadline is the 8th of October, and what we need you to submit is a very light form of your application. That is a max 10-page outline with project description, consortia partners data, team members, and budget. Then we at Call Management, together with our partners, we do an eligibility check, we put it through an evaluation procedure, and then we come back to you with information if you were successful and are invited to the next stage or not. And if you are invited to the next stage, that is the full proposal stage, then you will have a 10-page outline to go more in depth on your proposal. Here it's important to mention that that you don't need to derive, please stick to your proposal, so to say. You also need to, oh, sorry, I think someone is not muted, so please do that. Yeah, do not substantially differ from your pre-proposal. Please also include aspects such as gender and risk analysis, property rights and data management aspects. And if you have major changes to your consortia, those need to be communicated to the funding organizations involved and also us as Call Management. There's a whole section of this information in the call text, which we ask you to read thoroughly if such changes are relevant to you. The deadline for this stage is next year, so that's 11th of March, 2027, if you're successful there. Next slide, please, Afnan. All right, so how do you submit a proposal through the CETPartnership? Well, you have, first of all, one central application through our submission system. You choose one call module per proposal, and the project coordinator is responsible for inviting his or her project partners through the submission system. It's all our organizations need to have a PIC or NAC code. It should be written in English and submitted through our system before the applicable deadlines using our mandatory templates. Please also know that we do not have templates for CVs or letter of commitments through the CETPartnership, but only the submission templates, so to say. One important thing marked out in red here is also that several funding organizations require an additional national or regional submission. So please make sure to check that, because that's important for you to be eligible. Next slide, please. Something we oftentimes see is that people wait till the very minute before the deadline before submitting. There's no benefit to waiting. We have a system which allows you to secure the last submitted proposal as the final one. So you can, in theory, before deadline, submit as many times as you want, and the latest version will be saved and submitted. So also because of the technicalities of the submission system, we ask that you at least submit 24 hours before the deadline, just to ensure that you don't meet any technical restraints or have to go through our IT support. It can take a while. So as mentioned here, there's no risk in submitting early and no advantages in waiting. All right, next slide, please. Now I will welcome my colleague Maria Enge to talk a bit about our eligibility checks. Maria? Hello. I think you're muted, Maria.
Rookie mistake. So eligibility check are done in several ways in the CETPartnership calls. We have transnational requirements, eventually after all other dealing with all the eligibility of in general of the proposal. And we have call module requirements that makes the TRIs making the eligibility check. And we have the national and regional requirements and guidelines, which are from the funding organizations that do their check. So it's a long way to eligibility. Next slide, please. So there are general requirements and guidelines, and it's generally about the proposal submission, how it must be, It's about project consortium partners. It's something about duration, start and stop, and total length. What about the project budget and the requested funding? And there are the issues about research, development, and innovation approaches and TRL, technology readiness levels. So all these issues could be on the different stages or different parts of eligibilities. So please make sure to check all this in all the different ways. Next slide, please. So the transnational eligibility requirements about the consortium mainly, and all these requirements, you must fulfill these that I now talk about to be able to submit. It's not possible to submit in the platform if you do not fulfill this. So each proposal must include at least 3 beneficiary partners, of which one is the coordinator. And a beneficiary partner is someone who is applying for funding from a funding organization. So they must participate in the joint call 2026. And these 3 beneficiary partners must be from 3 different countries. And of these 3, 2 must be from EU member states or Horizon Europe associated countries. And as I said earlier, all must be eligible for funding according to the national guidelines and rules. So they must get an eligibility check. And below you see minimum consortia criteria, how that could look. It's 2 countries from EU member states or Horizon Europe, and then it's 1 other country participating in the call. We can take next slide, please. A bit more about the consortium requirements. The effort of any single project consortium partner cannot exceed 60%, and then it's the project effort, it's the work person month. So everyone must include person months so that this can be calculated. And the effort of a partner from the same country cannot exceed 75% of the total project effort amount. And then members from that are included in CETPartnership in some way, governing board, general assembly, or researchers in the funding organizations, they cannot apply for funding. And there may also be call module requirements that apply regarding, for example, what types of consortium partners there must be in the consortium. So please make sure to read this carefully in the call text. Next slide, please. So then we come to the national or regional requirements and eligibility. This check is made by the funding organizations. And as Ragnhild earlier said, there may be national submission requested. And if it's really important to check this, we see that several are ineligible due to not submitting proposal or documents, whatever it is. So please read carefully. There may be other national regional requirements that applies, and you can find all these in the Annex B for the relevant funding organizations. At this stage, before opening, we are not ready with all the national requirements. So for now, it is a bit scattered what is available, but please follow our website and it will come there eventually. And if you, even though you check and you find anything questionable, please contact the requested contacts that are included in the national requirements document so that you can get answer to your questions. And as I said, the funding commitment process is still ongoing, so don't hesitate to contact call management if you have questions, but there will be more information shortly. And just to remember again, the most common reasons for national ineligibility is that you have the wrong costs, you do not add a national submission or documentation, the scope is outside what the funding organization can fund, or you are missing some specific requirements or participation criteria. Next slide, please. Then we have call module requirements. So that is the TRIs that make the check for these eligibility criteria. Not all call modules have these, but please check for each call module in chapter 7 of the call text. And if you need, please contact the relevant contacts there. And the most common reason for call module ineligibility is that they are lacking specific participation criteria, for example, industrial participation, or it's outside of scope. Next slide, please. So just to sum up, the consortia setup is that the project consortium partners should be assigned to specific tasks in the proposal. They must be legal entities. There must be one entity that is the project coordinator. There must be at least 3 beneficiary partners applying for funding, of which one is the coordinator. There may include need owners and relevant stakeholders, and that is, of course, everyone within the energy system working within the field that is appropriate. And those may be funded or they may not be funded in the call. Because you can also include self-finance partners from any country or region who brings their own funding. And those self-finance partners cannot be project coordinators, and they do not count to fulfill the transnational criteria on the number of partners and countries. However, they do count in the 60%, 75% regarding one partner or regarding country, and must include their workload as well. So now my colleague Ingrid will speak a little bit about how to deal with the consortium building. Please, Ingrid. No, yes. Sorry, I'm sorry.
You will take that one and I will take the next, yes.
Yeah, sorry. So here is just a picture of how a consortium could look like. So one coordinator from, for example, Spain, other partner from Sweden. Both those are granted in the call or funded in the call. They are from Europe. Then we have Korea, who are in the call, but they are not from Horizon Europe. And then we have an extra Austrian one who is in the call as well. Then we have another one from not a country that is not in the call. Could be anyone in the world, and they are self-financed, so that is fine. And we have someone from a country in the call, but they are also self-financed, maybe because they are sort of a partner that is not funded by their country, and then they are self-financed instead. That is fine. And all these, all the partners that are included in the call that receives funding make the contract with the national funding organization. They do the reporting and they get their payments from the funding organization. So it's only the proposal that is made via CETPartnership centrally. And then there comes the knowledge community, etc. But that is when the project starts. So now my colleague Ingrid will talk a bit about how to build a stable consortium.
Yes, thank you, Maria. So it is important, next slide, please. Yes, so it is important to have a strong consortium strategy in order to reduce risk and improve project success. We advise you to include more than 3 beneficiary partners to reduce the risk of transnational ineligibility. We encourage you to use our matchmaking platform to identify partners for your projects. And we also encourage you to contact participating funding organizations if you want to discuss budget availability and national requirements. And this is also outlined in Annex B of the call text. Finally, if possible, you should consider including partners from previously undersubscribed funding organizations to reduce the risk of oversubscription. And I will go now more into detail in the next slide, please. Yes, So this slide highlights the funding organizations that were undersubscribed after the full proposal stage in the joint calls 24 and 25. As shown, the organizations span several countries and regions, including France, Canada, South Korea, and Tunisia. To increase the involvement of these undersubscribed funding organizations, we encourage project consortia to include beneficiary partners applying for funding from these organizations. The objective is to maximize the use of available national budgets while also broadening participation across the partnership. Next slide, please. Yes, and so the call management would like to end our presentation with a little bit of general information about the call. So as mentioned before, the call opened for stage 1 pre-proposal submissions on the 8th of June. And then applicants will have until the 8th of October to submit their pre-proposals. Projects that are invited to continue to stage 2 will then gain access to the full proposal submission platform on the 8th of January 27. And the deadline for submitting full proposals is the 11th of March. Following the evaluation and funding decision process, applicants can expect funding decisions to be communicated by the end of June 2027. And then successful projects are expected to start between mid-September and December the same year. And we would also like to remind you that some national and regional funding organizations may have additional deadlines or specific eligibility requirements. So therefore, applicants should carefully consult the relevant funding organization annex for detailed national requirements. So I think that ends the call management presentation.
Thank you so much, Ingrid. Thank you, Maria, as well. We're a bit over schedule, but that's no worry. So I'll just jump straight to the next session.
There you go. Yep, so my name is Nina and I am communication advisor for CETPartnership, and I will shortly explain to you a bit about our B2 matchmaking platform and event platform. I'll just jump into it. So many of you registered, or all of you registered on B2 Match to join this event today. And if you somehow found the way of joining us, to join our platform, you need to click this link. I'm sure it will be shared in the chat as well. And then go to the Register Now page and create an account. Next slide, please. And we use this for matchmaking, and you have two different opportunities to use it as matchmaking. You have collaboration opportunities, as you see here, and matchmaking participants. If you click on the next slide, please. After the next slide, please. Thank you. So if you click on the collaboration option, as I showed you on the first page there, you get to proposals seeking partners or collaboration opportunities. So here you can see people that already have ideas that need maybe some partners to support their ideas. You can also publish a collaboration opportunity if you have an idea or a starting point but are seeking partners. So this is a great page to see what is out there. And next page, please. So you can also use it to find specific matchmaking participants. Next slide, please. If you click the matchmaking participants, as you're seeing here, you come into this page where you can see all of matchmaking participants. You can search for country on the filtering option. You can filter by call module. You can write name, a specific name if you're looking for someone. But the only ones that are available here is the people that have an option or have chosen an availability to be open for matchmaking. I'll show you how to do that later in this presentation. Next slide, please. Yeah, so if you click on this button that's it says availability. Yes, and then click on the next slide, please. You can turn your availability off if you're not interested in matchmaking, but if you are interested in matchmaking, it's important that this button is on. And next slide, please. You can also edit your profile and putting that you're interested in specific topics, or you're saying that you're not interested in updates from us. Then you click on this this note, or I mean like pen. Next slide, please. And then you can choose what you are interested in, if there's something that you specifically are interested in. And you need to make sure that you click the yes answer on the keep me informed. Next slide, please. Yes, so that is it for me. If you're interested in joining matchmaking events, we're also having events for our call modules. So please use this QR code to find our events, or click on events under B2Match and find several of call module events. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Nina. Now let's try to see if Astrid and her technicalities has started functioning. Astrid, do you hear us? And we can see you now as well. Great.
Can you
There
hear
we
me now?
go. Yes.
I'm so sorry for all these problems. The system didn't work, even though we had conducted a technical check before. Good. So let me get started, and I will be very brief. So my name is Astrid Flandorfer. I'm from the Enterprise Europe Network, Austria.
Sorry to interrupt, Astrid. You need to switch the displays, please.
Yes, I will. Oh, wait. Everything takes a while here. Usually it's much faster. Okay, just a second. So here we go.
It's good. You can continue.
Thank you very much. So, and first, before I briefly tell you how the Enterprise Europe Network can help you to find suited project partners, I very briefly will tell you what the Enterprise Europe Network is and who we are. So we are the largest support network for innovative SMEs that have international ambitions, but we do not only have services for innovative SMEs, but also for any other kind and type of organization, especially when it comes to project partner searches for funded projects. On the left side on the map depicted in blue, you see all the countries that are partners in this network. We are around 3,000 experts from almost 600 organizations in 53 countries. And all our services are free of charge. And this is possible because we are co-financed by the EU and by national co-funding. Our services span we have a very broad portfolio of services. We help you to improve your innovation management. We help you with sustainability, with access to finance and funding, with digitalization issues. And why I am here today is the partnering aspect. So we do not restrict our services to any sector, industrial sector, but every industrial ecosystem is included, including the horizontal teams. And now finally, I come to the 6 steps, how you come to the right cooperation partner with the support of the Enterprise Europe Network. In the very first step, you have to find your regional contact point. And I have given here the link where you can find yours. Then you contact this EAN node that is in charge of you. And then together with them, you develop a partner search profile. And your EAN partner will then publish it on the EAN database. So we have a huge database with thousands of profiles that can be searched for. And this database is openly accessible. And such a profile would, for example, look like in the title, an Austrian SME seeks partners for a joint proposal to the CETPartnership call 2026. And then in the description, you point out what exactly you're looking for in terms of a partner and expertise. that the project needs. Then partners or then organizations that read this profile and are interested to join, they submit an expression of interest through this EN database. So directly at the profile, they click on a button and say, I'm interested. And this is then forwarded to the profile owner by your EN advisor again. So we are always in the middle. And such an expression of interest then contains a description of who you are and what your focus is about and which expertise and activities you may be able to contribute to the project. Next step is the project owner then checks all the EOIs that they have received, and then they choose whom you would like to get in contact with. And your EN advisor then establishes this contact, usually via email. After this, you discuss the project content or the cooperation content with this organization, with a representative of that organization that you have chosen, and then you choose whether you would like to cooperate together. And in the best of cases, you will then start your cooperation by jointly submitting the proposal. You can also do these 6 steps the other way around, so that you are the one that searches in the database for technology or expertise needed. And or you can also search for profiles where a coordinator is looking for project partners. And here I also gave you now this link to the EN database where you can do so. It's openly accessible. And then if you find an interesting profile, you are the one to submit an expression of interest through the database. And from the database to the project owner, to the profile owner, this expression of interest will be forwarded by the EN contact point. Then again, the contact will be established by your EN advisor in case the profile owner is interested to getting in contact, and then establishes the contact between the two of you. And again, both organizations can then start discussions about the project content. And we, as Enterprise Europe Network advisor, we are not involved in these discussions, but we are always here to help if help is needed. And again, then you can submit your proposal, your joint proposal together. So this is it from my side, and I wish you good luck with your proposal. And if you do not find your respective EN contact note, just get in contact with me. Here is my email address. You can write to me anytime, and I'll be here to help.
Thank you so much, Astrid, for your presentation. I'm glad we could solve the technicalities. We're a bit over time, so I think we should just move over now to our networks within the CET partnership. I'll first ask Katarina to come here and talk a bit about our knowledge community. Katarina, are you here? Yeah, great.
Yes,
Welcome.
I'm here. Thank you for the introduction. Yes, so my name is Katharina Reffel from the Knowledge Community Management, and I'm going to introduce you to our knowledge community, and we'll show you why our CET partnership is more than just a set of funded projects. So next slide, please. So first, I would like to ask you one question. So for this, please go back to your Slido. I see we have many questions already in the Q&A section. When you click on polls on the right-hand side on the top, you can also type in your answer to the question I'm going to ask you now, which is, what's the one thing you hope to gain if joining the CET partnership knowledge community? So as mentioned earlier by Ragnhild, once you are selected as a project, you'll be able to join our knowledge community. And yeah, so with this question, we would like to have your expectations you have to us. And if we also fulfill them. So I see we're getting some results already. People find the right way. And so what do we have? Collaboration projects, sharing experiences, industry partners, impact through international cooperation, share results and knowledge, find good partners, interactions, funding, again, international collaboration, visibility for collaboration. Okay, so we see there's a lot of going on regarding collaboration opportunities, also internationally, and finding partners and getting ideas for new projects. So this is very much going into what we are focusing with our knowledge community. And with this, I would like to go to the next slide, please. So thank you for your input here. So our knowledge community follows an integrated approach. On the one hand side, one major element is the monitoring and reporting of your project results. And then with your results, we gain insights and learn from your results for our activities. And then we also have impact activities and tools. My colleague Tanya Suni will present to you soon. And of course, knowledge sharing and generation within the knowledge community. So next slide, please. Yes, so when it comes to knowledge, we focus on peer-to-peer exchange among the projects and co-creation of results. Your key benefits when you will be joining the knowledge community is manifold. So you need to know right now we have over 160 projects running. So first of all, you will have access to all the projects on our collaborative space and see what the others are doing. We offer you also to the peer-to-peer learning among like-minded projects and create also efficient synergies for your activities. You will also be able to co-create results on thematic topics, but also cross-cutting topics with other projects that can become visible in the European landscape. And you will also be able to receive input on achieving your project impact goals and also strategically thinking, getting ideas and partners for future calls. Next slide, please. So here is an example of our past and future events we conducted within the knowledge community and which are also available on our Knowledge Hub, our collaborative space. So besides the call module events we're going to focus, we have also many different thematic knowledge sharing events organized by our transition initiatives, the TRIs. We also have an industry reverse pitching event, which is a cross-cutting one on the 23rd of June. And also please, mark in your calendar our CETPartnership annual conference, which will be on the 20th and 21st of October. Here also some projects will present more insights on the major conference topic, which is resilience and energy security. And here you will also have the opportunity to get more insights into our activities within the knowledge community. And next slide, please. So here's one example from our...
Katrina, sorry to interrupt you. I see some messages. Few of people are not able to see the slides. Let me reshare the slides so everyone can see the slides. I'm not sure if people are still facing the issues because I think you can see the slides.
Yes,
Nina
I
can
do.
see the slide. So I don't know if it's a technical glitch or it's with their network or internet. I'm not sure. Should I reshare the slides or is anyone still having the issues?
People are saying there's no problem right now. Sorry to interrupt. I think people are saying in the chat that they can see the slides. So now I think it should be fine.
Okay, then it's fine.
Yeah,
I
maybe it
think
was a
it
temporary
mostly,
issue.
yeah, it mostly should be the internet issue with them. That's why they are not able to see the slides. Otherwise, everyone should have the same problem. You can continue, Katrina. Sorry.
Okay, thank you. All right. Anyways, afterwards, the slides will be shared as well. So here you can see an example of a working group meeting we held every year on a cross-cutting topic. Last year it was on energy system integration, and here we focused on barriers and opportunities for system integration within different dimensions. Here you see the ones from technological and market and financial dimensions, and we asked the projects to identify barriers and also opportunities. And what we aim for is always that some projects who have a need meet the need from other projects, and this worked out very well. So you see here some projects offered opportunities for the barriers mentioned by other projects, and this is also what we aim for, that yeah, this is actually the peer-to-peer exchange we look for. And the next slide, please. Yeah, so that was it already from my side. If you have any questions to the knowledge community, you can send us an email to knowledgecommunity@CETPartnership.eu, or you can visit also our website under knowledge community. And of course, you can post your question in the Slido chat, Slido on the Slido link. So with this, I would like to hand over to my colleague, Anja Suni, who will show you impact and exploitation tools and activities.
Thank you very much, Katarina. I also seem to have some internet connection issues, so hopefully this will go okay. Next slide, please. So the benefits for you from our impact and exploitation support is we try to help you achieve your own impact goals through tailored exploitation strategies and expanding your networks through matchmaking events. We offer guidance on market and commercial readiness and societal readiness as well, and ensuring societal acceptance for your sustainable innovations. And we support you to advance your research maturity so that you can secure future funding and commercial success after your CET partnership project. Next slide, please. Typically, our projects have two main exploitation pathways, and by exploitation, we mean the pathway towards actual use and adoption in society. The first we call knowledge valorization, or often it's institutional or societal utilization of your results. And then that means that you have your key exploitable results, so those results that can actually be used by someone. And you can direct those to academia, policymakers, society, industry, funders, and think about your sustainability aspects. Next slide, please. In addition to that, most of our projects also look at commercial exploitation. So they are really aiming at commercialization. And for that, there is a pretty clear project chaining pathway towards commercialization and use. Next slide, please. For both of these exploitation pathways, you need to think about your stakeholders, your users, and the way forward. And for that, we have a 1-minute video showing you how we support you on that journey. So please go ahead for the 1-minute video.
CET Partnership Impact Support, your guide to impactful innovation in clean energy. For an innovation to grow, it needs to increase its maturity. By improving the commercial readiness, sustainability, and social acceptance of your solution, you can pave the way for further funding and investment. We help your project succeed with targeted training in areas like engaging stakeholders, effective exploitation, and preparing for commercialization. Our matchmaking events connect you with the right partners to strengthen your project's impact and reach. The Impact Network is a comprehensive gathering of stakeholders tailored to help your innovations move from lab to market. Our Impact Library is a toolbox of essential methodologies, instructional videos, and best practices to enhance collaboration and success. Join us in driving the clean energy transition. Together, we can create lasting change and build a sustainable future.
Thank you. Next slide, please. The instructional videos mentioned in that Impact Library are these recorded training webinars. They range from impact dimensions, key exploitable results, working with end users and stakeholders, societal readiness and commercialization, and finding funding for your demonstration project. So these are really recommended for you to start with. Next slide, please. They form a pretty good basis for your CET partnership exploitation plan, which helps you track the journey from your technology to use. So when you are dealing with impact, you have to think about more than just tech, really the real world use, and assess whether your technology is really needed by a particular user group, whether it's accepted by society, markets, and regulatory wise, and whether it's deployable. And if you have a strong plan, you will have a better proposal. Go ahead to the next slide, please. And this is my final slide. This is, again, kind of an overview of the tools to help you succeed. We have the exploitation guide, which is a real document going through all of the things we have discussed here. It has readiness scales for you that you can use to assess where you are at with your innovation. The impact network is a gathering of the stakeholders mentioned in the video, and on the left-hand side you can see an image of the library where you have different methodologies for working with your stakeholders and your readiness scales. Pitching and matchmaking events happen typically in the autumn with investors, validation labs, so on and so forth. So finally, I'd like to go to the Slido question we have for you. I hope you now have an idea or a pretty good understanding that real world impact really depends on feedback you get from the stakeholders in society, users and others. So they are the ones who can validate whether your solution is actually deployable in practice. So this is a question for you. Apart from industrial users, which are usually a given in technology, which stakeholder would be most critical to validate your solution in practice? So go ahead and let's start polling. Equipment manufacturers, very typical. Consumers, very good. Grid, energy system operators. Building owners, facility managers. Utilities, DSOs and TSOs. Local communities, very important when you are dealing with infrastructure. And standardization or certification bodies, very happy to see this because typically standardization and certification are the main or key methodologies to creating a market for your innovation. Municipalities or public infrastructure operators, let's give this 20 more seconds and then we are done. This is information we can use when we are creating our matchmaking events and other types of impact events. So we can invite people that are important for your projects. Excellent. Thank you very much. We will take this information and you can continue answering this as long as you wish. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Tanya, and thank you for the cool interactive session as well. It's always interesting to see. We are going to now jump over to the section of the meeting where we're going to talk about the call modules and where you can learn more about the topics we're funding. So in order for not to waste more time, I would like to ask my colleague Michele to join us and introduce call module 1. Hi, Michele, the floor is yours.
Yes, very good morning to everybody and welcome to this presentation of the call modules 2026. My name is Michele De Nigris. I am the technical lead of the call module number 1 and number 2, together with Tirai 2, on integrated energy system resilience in a changing environment. Well, resilience, you know, is a top keyword nowadays because of geopolitical situations, because of climate change stresses to the energy systems. And we have this word on the newspapers nearly every day. So this is why we have imagined that one call module could be dedicated to increasing the energy system resilience in this changing environment. Next slide. So the idea is that the proposals should help strengthening the resilience of integrated energy systems. When we speak about integrated energy systems, we speak about systems in which multiple energy carriers are considered, such as electricity, gas, heating and cooling, and so on and so forth, in a combined way. So what we ask you is to propose projects that address how energy systems can anticipate, can withstand, or can recover from disruptions that go beyond normal operating conditions. This is the key word of resilience. This is the background of resilience. So you should focus on situations that may threaten reliability and quality of supply if they are not adequately managed. We have imagined two situations in which you can propose projects dedicated to resilience. The first one deals with the intrinsic vulnerability of the systems. You know that systems are now hosting more and more renewable energy sources, and their structure exposed to variability of energy supply, needs of flexibility, reduced system inertia, limited voltage control, and unbalances is open to new types of threats. So what we want you to propose as one of the possible subjects is resilience with respect to intrinsic vulnerability. The other one is, I can say, more easy and straightforward. Resilience with respect to external events, nature-related events linked with climate change, so weather events such as snow, ice, wind, storms, floods, and so on, and also human-related events like cyber attacks or what we can see nowadays, sabotage, and so on and so forth. So next slide. What is the type of the project that we are looking for? What type of key exploitable results do we expect? We expect potentially two types that can be alternative or complementing each other of key exploitable results. The first one is methods and tools. That is systems, tools, methods, planning systems, and so on to address and forecast the probability, level of return periods of threats, and all the aspects to ensure the recovery of energy system performances. So this is tools and methods that are somehow more, can we say, theoretical. The second one is demonstration of all types of actionable measures in a demonstration to really showcase the working of solutions. So covering all the technological gaps across the full system resilience cycle, from anticipation to preparation, absorption, critical operation, recovery, and finally to adaptation. So this is the technical framework in which we want you to act. What are the project requirements? In the next slide. The project shall have a budget between 2 to 5 million. In case of modeling, the key exploitable results shall consist of tools, for example, models, softwares, APIs, developed, of course, in an open access platform. In case of demonstration, that is validation and application activities, advanced laboratory activities, we ask you to start from TRL 3 or higher and show a TRL increase of at least 1 point from project starts. Of course, in terms of the constitution of your consortium, for proposals targeting low final TRL or modeling and so on, your need owners, as explained before, should be at least in an advisory group as much as possible. While on higher final TRLs, your need owners should be inside the project consortium. So not should be, but must be in the project consortium as a partner. So to give you additional information about what is happening next, and in the next slide, we are going to organize different events that will help you set up your consortium and developing the best possible proposal. We will have a matchmaking session starting from the 26th of June, another one on the 10th of July. And if you want to be part of these meetings, you will join interactive discussions to build strong project consortia. You will participate in co-creation to facilitate interaction among participants. And of course, there will be ample opportunity to pitch profiles and ideas in search for the ideal project partners. So welcome to post and to participate in all these sessions and prepare for your best possible proposal. If I can go to the call module 2, the call module 2 is in the next slide, deals with energy system flexibility, renewables, storage, and energy integration. Next slide. This call module is prepared by a three-party, TRI 1, TRI 2, and Mission Innovation Green Powered Future Mission, with special reference to the compliance towards the flagship project number 2. So here we want to focus on research and innovation supporting flexible and system integrated energy systems, of course, with a very, very wide integration of renewable energy sources. So selected projects should address flexible and integrated energy systems, including renewable integration, storage solutions, digital platform, smart demand side management, and system coordination approach. So a wide variety of subjects dedicated to the integration of variable renewable energy sources at the maximum possible level. You should demonstrate measurable program and progress towards flexible, high renewable and system integrated energy systems with high standards of security and quality of supply. So you see that the challenge is quite high and very, very practical. What are the target topics in the next slides? We want you to deal with renewable generation, integrated renewable generation in the system, while preserving system stability and reliability. So not the renewable sources as such, but the renewable integration in the system. Energy storage technologies integrated in the system, quality of supply and flexible operation of the system, flexibility market adopting innovative flexibility sources, and of course, system digitalization, including cybersecurity and AI and digital twins. Last slide is about project requirements. Project requirements in the next slide is in the range of 1 to 2 million, including, of course, self-financing. TRL as a starting point, 3 or higher, and demonstrate an increase of 1 to 2 steps of TRL. Participation of small and medium enterprises and or spin-off companies is highly recommended, and participation of partners from countries involved in the Green Power Future Mission is optional. However, it will be considered a preferential attribute in the evaluation of the proposal if relevant. This is all for me. So I hope you have fully understood the scenario, and I really wish you to prepare the maximum number of ideal proposals for these two core modules. So welcome for questions, and good luck for your preparation. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Michela. Now we're heading over to call module 3. Francesco, the floor is yours.
So thank you, and thank you for the this is the presentation of the call module 3, is advanced renewable energy technology for power production, and is developed in cooperation between the Ministry of University and Research and CETIP from Spain. It's the call module is very similar to what we have seen in the past years. Maybe we can go to the next slide. You can see the main object is to advance renewable energy technology, improving efficiency and sustainability in it targets usually utility scale, including wind, solar, offshore, and geothermal, and also the relation with innovative energy storage solution and hybrid system. The full pool of technology are concentrated solar power, cross-cutting offshore renewable technology, geothermal, just for what concerns the power production, ocean energy, solar PV, wind, and hybridization, integration, and storage. The idea is to have also an attention on this advanced hybrid system that can bring together production and energy storage, beside what we have so far developed in terms of specific technology improvement in the power production system. Next slide, please. The TRI2 is based on a challenge approach that tried to face the most interesting and most I would say important challenge, the power production system. The first one is related to performance and cost competitiveness. We know that is a very competitive area, so improve efficiency, reliability, lifetime, and cost effectiveness of renewable technology and components is a very crucial topic for us. Then we also need to improve our pool of technology, especially looking at next generation renewable technology. So advanced innovative concept with improved sustainability, reduce environmental footprint, and enhance circularity. We have the important issue to improve the operational excellence and resilience, especially related to robustness of renewable assets. Also take into account monitoring, predictive maintenance, and digital solution. And then we need to face the system integration and flexibility, thanks to the possibility, giving space to the possibility of integration of renewable generation with storage, grids, and other energy carrier to enhance flexibility and dispatchability of the power production. Finally, we support the digital transformation by deploying the digital twins and advance in terms of analytics, prognostic and diagnostic, artificial intelligence-based tools, and operation and maintenance tools based on digitalization. Of course, one of the interesting features is also the increase of sustainability and the resource efficiency. And when we speak about resource efficiency, we think to critical raw material by improving recyclability and support life cycle sustainability approach. But we also think to the important save of nature space, means maritime and occupation of soil in onshore technology, and this is also a way of thinking to hybrid technology where the same technology can share the same space and so optimize occupation of areas. Next slide. We go very briefly on the topics that are not prescriptive, but are just suggestions that can lead to development of project. We look at solar energy, PV and CSP by high efficiency, low impact PV technologies, including tandem and thin film solution, sustainable and circularity of PV materials and components, advanced CSP components, material and thermal energy storage system, and digitalization of concentrated solar thermal for more efficient monitoring, operation, and maintenance, and also innovative application of PV such as agrivoltaics and floating, so integration of PV inside different contexts. In terms of wind energy,
I must ask you too.
Yes.
Just to the, yes, sorry, thank you.
We will look to next generation turbines and control system, but also we look to ocean and other offshore energy technologies by looking at cross-cutting offshore technology like moorings and advanced material for foundations, and also for, in this case, operation cost-effective maintenance. Next slide. We are looking for project also in geothermal. As I said, for power generation, hybridization, integration and storage, especially co-location of hybrid and renewable energy technologies, and integration of renewables with storage technologies and other energy carriers such as hydrogen, especially looking at medium and long-term storage. Finally, we complementarity with other core module, we look at be complementary with thermal energy application for heating, cooling, industrial process, and battery for stationary behind the meters that is made in the core module 06, and system integration of storage in the energy system that is in core module 02. Next slide. Just to end,
just that if we could refer to the Zenodo page for the versions.
Sorry, call module 03A relate to research-oriented action between TRL 3 and 5, and innovation-oriented action between TRL 5 and 7, and the project size is between indicative 1 to 2.5 billion, and from yes, just to say that the two different ROA and TRL 3.5 is between 1 to 2.5 million, and in the TRL 5 to 7 we look for projects between 2.5 and 5 million. Of course, this is just indicative. Any other size, dimension, and considering the effectiveness of the project could be also presented. Finally, for the innovation action, we look oriented action, we look for at least the presence of one industrial partner, but please look at the funding agency procedure and requirements for better eligibility check of your project. Thank you for the time and the attention.
We will actually swap a bit around here at the after core module 7, we will go to core module 10, and then we're going to do core module 8 and 9 because we are a bit over schedule and we need to ensure people can be here. So that's great. I think Åge can maybe start to prepare.
Yeah, thank you, Ragnhild. I'm ready to present core module number 4, that is on industrial carbon management, and that is the new name of what we all know as CO2 capture, utilization, transport and storage, CCUS. And next slide, please. And in this core module, we will support the development and implementation of what I said, CO2 capture, utilization and storage, CCUS technologies. And selected projects should advance the state of the art for CCUS technologies and bridge the gap between technology development and industrial implementation. And the key areas that is included in this core module, I repeat this quite often just so that you learn it. It's CO2 capture, CO2 transport, CO2 utilization, CO2 removal, also known as CDR, and also CO2 storage. Next slide, please. And the targeted topics, they are written in details in the call text, but just a brief summary here. We would like to see new applications on CO2 capture from the energy sector and also energy-intensive industries. We are also looking forward to see applications on infrastructure for CO2 transport, either by pipelines or ships or by other means. We are also focusing a lot on development of CO2 storage sites and also full CO2 utilization value chains. And also what is included in the scope is CO2 removal technologies, CDR, and that includes direct air capture, mineralization, biomass, and carbon removal and storage. Biomass with carbon removal and storage. Applications should also address cross-cutting topics like development of business cases, public engagement, life cycle assessments, LCA, etc. And as I said, all details are in the call text. And please, next slide. And this is about project requirements, and the budget or the funding requested from CTP should be in the range between 1 and 3 million euros. And you can, of course, also have a higher or lower funding request, but normally we would like to see a project with this funding request, 1 to 3 million euros. The TRL, you have to climb the TRL scale during your project, and in the end of your project, the TRL that you should achieve should be at least TRL 5 or higher. And also, we have a special partner requirement for applications to Core Module 4. Applications should, must include at least one industrial partner. If you send an application to Core Module 4 without any industrial partners, your application will become ineligible. And what we expect from applications is that you have to advance the state-of-the-art for the CCUS technologies and bridge the gap between technology development and industrial implementation. And I believe there might be one more slide. Is that correct? Yes, this is about upcoming events that are important for CCUS and all the TRI 3 technologies. We will join forces with TRI 6 and have a core launch event for all core modules within TRI 3 and TRI 6. That will be in 2 days from now, 28th of May, virtual meeting. And furthermore, we will join forces with TRI 2 and set up a physical knowledge sharing workshop in Madrid in October. And this will gonna be a very good opportunity to team up with ongoing projects. And that's all from my side. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Olga. Thank you for that. Now we're gonna go over to Isabelle for Core Module 5. Welcome, Isabelle.
Okay, thank you. Well, I'm presenting Core Module 5. Next slide, please. This core module focuses on the technologies for hydrogen and renewable fuels. And I would like to say that it's very much similar to the call of last year. It covers aspects that are related to the whole value chain. So it includes production technologies, infrastructure for storage and transport, and end-use technologies. The fuels considered within the scope of the call are renewable and advanced fuels, synthetic renewable fuels of non-biological origin, including e-fuels that I've seen in the chat. Someone wrote that question. And hydrogen, and this also includes natural hydrogen. The selected projects are expected to advance cost-effective production technologies or contribute to creating reliable infrastructure covering transport and storage, or in the case of end-use technologies, develop safe, efficient, and affordable technologies. These are stressed so that when you prepare your proposals, you are aware of it. Next slide, please. We have 4 broad topics, let's put this way, that I touched before. In the case of production technologies, the focus should be on new and innovative, reliable and low-cost technologies for the different type of fuels within the scope of the call, novel concepts, namely regarding next generation electrolyzers, solar-driven fuels, and renewable ammonia. In the case of storage and transport, the emphasis is given to safe, clean, and economical solutions. End-use technologies can cover all sectors, residential and services, mobility, emphasizing maritime, aviation, and road heavy-duty and machinery applications, and industry. In the case of industry, I would like to stress that the focus is on the technological concept, which includes, of course, the testing and even validation in real environment, but does not include aspects related to the integration on the industrial process and the adaptations needed on that, which will be taken by call module number 9. We have a value chain demonstration that we would like to stress the proposals with that include pilot installations and also integrated technologies to produce new fuels that can substitute fossil fuels fully. Next slide, please. One thing I would like also to stress is in the case of blue hydrogen that has been within the scope of this call until now, for 2026 is out of scope. And this I would like it to be clear so that people don't submit proposals within this scope. Now, as already stated, the focus should be on technology, proposing new concepts that could advance transition and contribute to a faster substitution of fossil fuels with reduced CO2 emissions. Scalability is a very relevant point to be addressed. However, at least one cross-cutting dimension of the list of topics that are presented should be addressed for the goal also to be eligible for funding. And this is an important point that you need to be addressed when you form your consortium and formulate your goal. But if you only focus in non-technological aspects, then the proposal comes outside of the scope of the goal. Next slide, please. Coming to other requirements, I mean, my colleague already put some minimum requirements, and these are very similar to call number 4 and last year's call. The minimum technology readiness level is 5 as a target of the project. However, you can have components on your development, some work packages or tasks that can have a lower TRL provided the overall concept reaches or targets the TRL 5. It is important that the proposals are clear in stating how they contribute to advance the state of the art and in how they generate knowledge and disseminate new competencies, and how they are, the novelty aspects that they are considering to produce the alternative fuels.
I'm so sorry, Isabel, but time-wise, I think you have to soon wrap up. I'm so sorry.
I just have one sentence, which is that proposals must include one industrial partner, otherwise they are not eligible for funding. Now, the last slide, my colleague Oge already put forward the initiatives that are going forward within the TRI 3. They are the same, so I'm not going to repeat them. And thank you.
Thank you so much, Isabel. Javier, the floor is yours. Call module 6.
Thank you very much. I'm going to present call module 6 here, which is on batteries. Next slide, please. This call module supports early stage research and development of stationary battery technologies for behind the meter and microgrid applications. So I would like to emphasize this, that the focus here is on behind the meter and microgrid applications. We would like you to focus on batteries that are tailored to the needs of industry, commercial and residential buildings, AI and high-load data centers, and energy communities. These are all areas that are developing rapidly, and we look forward to receiving your interesting proposals. In terms of what we want the projects to deliver and to generate, we would expect the projects to generate validated knowledge, with emphasis on the word validated here, tools and methods that enable future industrialization and market uptake. And I will get back to that on the next slide. Next slide, please. A few words on the aim here. Essentially, the aim of this call module is to help promote solutions that can accelerate progress towards scalable and bankable technologies. Hence, my emphasis on the word market on the previous slide. But what that means is that we want the projects to advance performance, safety, lifetime sustainability, and cost efficiency of stationary battery solutions for behind the meter applications, which we believe will help accelerate progress towards scalable and bankable technologies. So the scope is then battery specific research and development, chemistry agnostic, so the chemistry does not matter, modeling, simulation, and digital tools, validated, cell module, pack, and system design for behind the meter applications. So it can be on all levels. Sustainability and value chain analysis, taking into account cross-cutting dimensions. Preparation for industrial scale-up. Next slide, please. I would like to say a few words about what is out of scope here as well. Utility scale or grid level storage projects are out of scope. Full system integration projects that take into account utility scale or look at those aspects are also out of scope. And end user demonstration projects that are focused on end user demonstration are also out of scope. And finally, a few words on expected impact. We hope to be able to see at the end of the projects improved stationary battery performance, safety, and reliability then for behind the meter applications. We would love to see a reduced total cost per delivered kilowatt hour for the type of batteries in the application context that you're looking at. We would like to see models that have been validated and digital tools that are able to generate value in their specific context. And most of all, we would like to see a clear pathway towards industrial readiness, bankability, and market uptake so that we can meet the needs in the sectors that are evolving and growing rapidly. Thank you very much. I believe this was the last slide.
Thank you so much, Javier, for that presentation. We're now moving over to Call Module 7 with Gerdy Brembuk. Welcome, Gerdy.
Hello, thank you very much. My name is Gerdy Brembroek and I work at Netherlands Enterprise Agency and I'm the leading expert of our activity on heating and cooling. Next slide, please. This is Core Module 7 that is aimed at innovative heating and cooling technologies to contribute to climate neutrality in 2050. The focus is on improving efficiency and affordability of heating and cooling technologies. So we're looking at developing robust, efficient and affordable technologies and systems. And we're looking at projects that that answer challenges across the value chain. It can be at a component level, it can be at a concept level, and this is all across the heating and cooling production, storage of heating and cooling, heat pumping technologies, and heating and cooling networks. Next slide, please. The background of all of this is that the heating and cooling transition is lagging behind in Europe. We have 50% almost of our electricity consumption supplied by renewable energy sources, but for heating and cooling, this number is about a quarter. So better technologies, easier installable, easier integratable technologies are relevant. And the core module covers all types of users. So it's for buildings, it's for agricultural users, and it's for industrial users. And I would also remind you that we're not only covering research and development, but there are quite a number of funding organizations that can actually support you with pilots and demonstrations. We're here for the energy transition, and we want you to think about solving real problems and indeed a path towards the market. Next slide, please. We are working on a number of topics. These are the sources, geothermal technologies, solar thermal technologies, but also sources of renewable cooling. We're looking at thermal storage technologies, seasonal storage, but also short-term storage. We're looking at heat pumping technologies, and we're looking at the distribution networks that bring it all from the source to the customer. For example, next generation district heating and cooling networks. So it's a broad area here. And to the next slide, please. And we expect projects to be approximately in the range of 1 to 4 million funding requests. We want projects to start at least TRL level 3 or higher. So if you're at TRL 6 at the start of your project, you're completely in scope, and at a TRL 4 or higher. We want projects to be to have the attention for how this will be implemented in the market. And there's also for this core module a strict requirement that there must be at least one company as a project partner, either a technology developer or some need owner, if you may. We want a valid proof of concept at project start, and the expected outcome is that we can move faster to a climate neutral and resilient Europe. So bear that in mind when you design your project, and also think about what the impact network is offering in terms of thinking about how you can organize this. Next slide is an announcement of our specific event. It's a month time, so you can study the call text in the meantime. You can register through that link. I will try and put it in the chat. And then if you have any questions in the meantime, please send us an email when it's about the call module, and contact your relevant funding organization if you have any questions or concerns of their requirements and contributions. So I'm looking forward to receiving many good proposals to accelerate our heating and cooling transition.
Thank you so much, Gertie. We're now actually going to swap over to module 10 before we continue with 8 and 9, just to make sure Stefan can be here. Stefan, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Ragnhild. Sorry for taking over a little bit earlier with call module 10. My name is Stefan Novak. I'm from NET in Switzerland, and I will be talking to you about call module 10, which is on clean energy integration in the built environment. Actually, it's one of the 3 call modules which deals not with the technologies themselves, but more the integration of those technologies in different environments. So next slide, please. Call module deals, as mentioned, with the built environment, and it looks at transforming this built environment into an active part of the energy system by integrating renewable energy production, storage, but also energy management technologies. And above that, it also emphasizes the role of digitalization. And as many buildings are already built, it also looks at the renovation and the role that renovation plays in the energy transitions. So the selected projects will develop systems that integrate these different technologies into active building elements and building environments, and also increase the efficiency, flexibility, and resilience of buildings in the energy system. The key areas include integrating renewables, innovating energy management and building renovation, active building elements, and all kinds of energy storage. Next slide, please. Just to position the call module 10 or the transition initiative 7, which deals with the clean energy integration in the built environment. Here's a slide which shows you on the left side the individual technologies that are being worked out and which have been presented in the earlier call modules. And on the right side, the aerial concept, which will be presented after this presentation. And here, the focus of the integration in the built environment is precisely between those 2 environments, where the focus is more precisely on the interface of those technologies with the built environment, be it buildings or built infrastructure, and emphasizing the integration into this area. Next slide, please. We have 3 areas which are covered. It's broader than topics because these areas are fairly broad. So on the first level is the transformation of buildings into active elements of the energy system, be it renewable energy integration, be it storage or other technologies. The second area is the digitalization of the full building life cycle and how this can be improved in order to address also the energy transition. And finally, one topic which has been added is the renovation of the existing built environment. This has been added more lately than the other 2. And these 3 areas together form the focus of call module 10, which is still the same, more or less, than last year. Next slide, please. The requirements are very similar to many of the other call modules. Here, we like to emphasize a rather high TRL level, starting projects with at least TRL 3, and at the end of the project, hitting TRL 5 or higher. We like to emphasize this because this can be also, at the end of the day, a challenge for the eligibility of the projects. Otherwise, we have no specific call requirements, except that we like to see projects emerge from consortia that bring together energy, building and construction community, be it from public or private research organizations. And my last slide is on a very soon happening call launch event, actually already on the 1st of June. We will have more details on this call module 10. So if you're interested, join us on 1st June at 9 o'clock in the morning. You also find the link here on the website. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Stefan. And for those who have direct questions to Stefan, you can email tri7@setpartnership.eu, as you may not be able to attend in the Q&A later on. Anywho, we are joined by Tina for call module 8. Welcome, Tina.
Thank you very much. Without further ado, let me get into call module 8 on integrated regional energy systems. So this call module is very focused on the system level, as you can perhaps hear from the name. It is focused on research and innovation, where you deploy, demonstrate, and validate integrated energy solutions at regional level to improve the system performance. So the focus here is really on system integration and to be able to use locally available resources across all sectors in a region. So the selected projects will depart from a challenge on the regional level of the energy system and work on how to contribute to regional energy transitions by advancing integrated regional energy system solutions across the value chain. So as you can hear, some of the key areas in this call module include utilizing local energy resources and integrating across sectors. Next slide, please. A few of the targeted topics is multi-vector integration, how to coordinate solutions for electricity, heating, cooling, and vehicle-to-grid technology on the regional level. Another is to optimize local generation, storage, and demand of renewables, and how to get an added value from that. It's also about flexibility and congestion management, on how one can combine batteries, vehicle to grid, demand response, and industrial flexibility to solve local and regional grid constraints. And of course, this can't only be about technology, but it's also important to think about governance and participation models for innovation ecosystems and how to include need owners in these regions that one would work with. Next slide, please. So as you can hear, this is really about an integrated approach and system level thinking and working. So technological development of only single components is ineligible. So technological development on a bigger level or like some components is okay, but you have to think broadly and think big, not only focus on one singular component. And as you can perhaps guess, this also means that the target TRLs should be rather high. The focus is not on kind of low level, but rather on how to implement, how to deploy, how to validate technologies. The funding requested by us from the call would be in the range of 1.5 to 5 million euros. And we expect you, when you apply for this call module, to cover or involve local target groups, make use of pre-existing plans or strategies to formulate your project in a region, for example, and to develop system solutions that can be transferable to other regions. Next slide, please. We have a few upcoming events. I will not go into details, but you can, the next upcoming event, if you are curious about this, is our information webinar, where you will have time for questions, and we will explain more about this call, which is already this week on Friday. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Tina, and thank you for amending the schedule. Now we have our last speaker here today, Åsa, for call module 9. Welcome, Åsa, and again, thank you also for amending.
Thank you. As Ragnhild said, my name is Åsa, and I will present you the Integrated Industrial Energy System, which is core module 9. And this core module aims to support projects that develop and demonstrate integrated technical solutions for climate neutral industrial production, applied at industrial sites or hubs. And the focus is not standalone technologies, but on a system level approach, and that combine multiple solutions. And the selected projects are expected to reduce direct process emissions, increase electrification, enable the use of renewable energy and green hydrogen, improve energy efficiency and system flexibility. And the key ambition is that solutions should show clear potential for scale-up, replication, and progress towards commercial readiness. And the module focuses on 3 main areas or key areas, which is climate neutral industry, energy and resource efficient systems, and system integration and flexibility. Next slide, please. So, shown in the graphic are pathways that span across the 3 focus areas, the key areas. And the first focus area is climate neutral industry. This includes fuel switching to green hydrogen or e-fuels, electrification of core industrial processes, and carbon capture and utilization. And the aim is significantly reduce direct process related emissions. The second focus area is energy resource efficient industrial systems. And here we support projects that improve industrial energy efficiency, increase circularity, and enable industrial symbiosis. For example, through sharing heat materials, residual streams, or waste resource across sites. And the third focus area is system integration and flexibility. This includes digitalization, automation, smart energy management, and sector coupling. Essentially, making industry an active balancing resource in a renewable-based energy system. Next slide, please. So the project requirements. The budget in a range of, but not limited to, 1.5 to 5 million euros, in addition to NSL financing. And the TRL at the project end shall be at 5 or higher, and a clear plan to increase the TRL during the project. And the project consortium should include at least 1 industrial partner, very important. And the project is expected to accelerate climate neutral resource efficient industry through integrated site level solutions, target cost competitive decarbonization of energy intensive sectors. And next slide, please. So this call is also linked to Net Zero Industry Mission, or NIM. NIM brings together governments, industry, and research actors to accelerate decarbonization, and in key sectors such as steel, cement, chemicals, and aluminium. And the collaboration helps strengthen the core by increasing industrial relevance, bringing in international perspectives, supporting deployment of innovative technologies. And next slide, please. Sorry. So we have some upcoming events. We have already on Thursday, 28, a caller launch event together with TRI3. And we also have a series of matchmaking sessions and industry pitching events during June and July. And these events are, I have to say, a great opportunity to find partners, develop project ideas, and connect with industry and research organization. So I strongly encourage you to participate and join these sessions. And we are also participating in a regulation node, clean hydrogen in chemical industry from energy carrier to industrial feedstock, together with Baltic Sea H2 project. So to summarize, this call is looking for ambitious integrated solutions that help industry transition towards climate neutrality while strengthening flexibility and competitiveness. So we look forward to receiving innovative and impactful proposals for you. Thank you so much for your attention, and please look more into the full call text for any details.
Thank you so much, Åsa. And I think that also concludes the section where we get a taste of the call modules. And I see that my colleague in communications have been posting about the events where you can learn more. It's also important to mention that we will probably have a new website around summertime. So you can already read more about the call modules now on the website and the call text. But if something changes in the next upcoming month, fear not, we're working on a new website. Now, I have another colleague here with me today who will shortly run through the submission platform. Raquel, thank you for taking the time to introduce us once more. Thank you.
Thank you, Ragni. Thank you, Hold. I beg your pardon if you hear some background noise because I'm at the airport, so bear with me. I'll try to be as fast as possible, and I will drive you through the submission system. If you allow me, I will share my screen just to make it faster.
I think it's sharing, Raquel. I at least can see it, so good.
Okay, it is coming nicely. Okay, you confirming. So there is nothing new in the submission system for those who already applied in the past years, but it is better to refresh a little bit how the procedure works. The entry page is the one you see on the top of the slide, CETP-submission.mur.gov.it. This is the entry page to the submission system. You will find a brief test with the recaps of the main features of the call and the entry point to the submission system, along with the relevant documents that you need to have in hand, like the call documents, the call text, and so on. To create your proposal, your application, log in to the submission system and sign in. This is the first thing to do. If you already have an account on the platform, just use your credentials, your email address and password. Otherwise, create a new one, simply clicking on register and filling the form. In this case, you will receive a validation email in your email box. Beware that the link expires in 15 minutes, but if you miss the email or the time expires, just don't worry, sign up again. Do not register again. The registration is taken. Just sign up. You will receive another email. The first step is to create a proposal. You have to select the correct call. There are different calls listed in the system. Just select the joint call CETP 2026 pre-proposal stage. click on Add to create your application. You first need to fill in with the basic information, the basic detail of your proposal, meaning the project acronym, the project title in full, the short name of your organization, and you had to select the call module you are applying to. Please remind that you can apply to just one call module. Carefully choose the one that applies from the list, because this information cannot be changed throughout the application process. Once done, you will see the proposal in the list of your proposals. You may create more than one proposal, and you find in your dashboard. To edit the proposal and access the forms, just clicking on the eye icon that you see in this case on the right side of the screen. This is the dashboard you have access to. There are different sections. The first is validation and verification section, where you can already monitor the progress of your application. You can identify missing fields, and if all the constraints, which are the eligibility criteria, are met by your application. At any time, you can have a PDF preview of what you have filled in the form. The second section is project data and can be filled only by the coordinator. The other section is related to the organization data, the partner data, and has to be filled by any partner in the applying consortium. Of course, the coordinators can fill in on behalf of the partner. Finally, you can invite the partners, the other organizations involved in your application, by the button that you see at the bottom of the form. The first part, project data, there are different sections to be filled in. Those are different forms: general details of the project contact, the call module, and you had to attach here also the technical description of your project, fill in the do not significant harm questionnaire, and add the additional partner information. Every time you fill in a form, please save to retain the information provided. Regarding the call module and description, just I wish to draw your attention on two particular information, the one related to the technology readiness level, and beware that for call modules there are specific requirements, so accurately choose the TRL level at the starting date and at the end date, and fill in also with the relevant keywords that apply. You can use free words of your own choice, the one that better describe your project application, but you also have to fill in the prefixed keywords choosing from the proposition. Sorry, I went maybe too fast. Under the additional partner information, once you have invited the other partners, please define whether they are end user or need owner. This is an additional information you provide to the evaluator, and what is their role in the proposal. Regarding the organization details, important form. It has to be filled by any organization involved in the project. And please remind that in order to fill in the form, you need a valid PIC number, which is a EU registration number. If you don't have it, you can require that in the funding and tenders portal of the European Commission. You will receive that quite straight away, but without the PIC, you cannot really go through the proposal. Any mandatory information is related to the VAT or national registration number. In case it is treated in the Commission system, this will be automatically recalled here, along with other organization details. So you will find some of the fields pre-filled. The budget, another important element of your proposal, you need to fill in with the cost of your project, the full cost for the different cost items, the requested funding for any of the cost items released, while the own funding column, which is the part not covered by the public funding, will fill in automatically once you push the save button. You have to also select your funding organization. So check which is the relevant one in case there is more than one funding agency per country, or select self-finance in case you are participating on at your own cost. Last section in the partner data regards the team members, so the other researchers beyond the principal investigators that are involved in the project. You can at this stage, at the pre-proposal stage, you can also decide to not list those team members, so just choose to be determined, to be determined option. In case you list your team members, please do not leave any blank row, otherwise the system has an error, and filling with all the necessary information which are mandatory. To invite partner, use the invite partner tool. You have to fill in the form with the contact details, and then you will see in your dashboard who are the invited partners. The coordinator can always remove or remove an invited partner in case this is not answering. Can edit the form once the partner has accepted the invitation. From the invited partner, he will receive an email. Please be sure to allow emails coming from this email account and click on the link to be redirected to the application form. Of course, if you are not registered as an invited partner, you need to register. And finally, that was the dashboard for the invited. He will see a notification pop-up and just follow the instruction. Coming to the final stages of the application, when everything has been filled in properly, you can identify the missing fields just to check if everything has been, in particular the mandatory fields, have been filled in. In case they're not, the system will warn you, indicating the list of missing fields. Well, in my case, it's more than one, so you can go back and fill in with the information. You can identify the constraints, so check if the mandatory conditions and requirements are fulfilled. Not in my case, as you see, so there are constraints not respected. In all those cases, the proposals cannot be submitted. You can download a preview, as I said before, and when everything is ready, the submit button will turn on in green, so you can submit your proposal. Please remind that proposal can be submitted in an iterative way in the platform, so you can submit and resubmit again every time it is overwritten. And in case you have submitted and then you decide for whatever reason to change something, please submit again. Otherwise, we will retrieve the last submitted version. The system sends you a confirmation email to the coordinator every time you send an email. In case of IT issues, because everything can happen, please no panic, just contact the IT support through the link that you see on the submission system, and any technical issues that has been reported to the support team before the deadline will be processed, so your will be processed and possibly fixed so that your proposal can be submitted. This is all from my side. Thank you for your attention. In case you have any questions, I will be here for some minutes more. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much, Rachela, for the introduction. And we will also upload this video seminar on our YouTube channel to rewatch. And we also have some instructions on the submission site as well. So you can revisit that at any time. Now, before we go out of more time, we really want to jump over to the Q&A sessions and share the Slido. I can see now we already have 75 questions coming in, which is great. And me and my colleague Maria will begin to answer those as we go along. Of course, unfortunately, Maria will travel in a while, so we will see how many we get to. We'll at least do 10 minutes, hopefully 15. And of course, everything that we do not get to answer at this time, we will answer writtenly, and then we will post it on our channel so that you can be able to see it later on. You can also send us an email at CETPartnership or the contact points in question later on if you need to have an immediate answer. All right, let's do the Slido. Afnan or Maria, would you mind sharing the Slido screen? And yes. Okay, the general success rate for CETPartnership proposals is around 15%. When it comes to how many proposals that were submitted, we can maybe see from the last 2 years that I think 2024 call had 309 pre-proposals submitted. And in last year's call, 2025, joint call 2025, we had 378. So we have usually those increases from each year. And then, of course, that number will be reduced depending on who's invited to the full proposal, and then a selected amount will be picked out for funding. Okay, next question. For each call module, it is not clear how many projects will be funded under that specific call module, e.g. call module 1 mentions range of euro 2 to 5 million, but does not say the total budget under this module, which would tell us the number of projects funded. This is important to assess before applying. While we do that, understand it's important that you assess it before applying. It really depends on the overall budget available and the number of projects coming in and the scoring those projects get. Maria, do you have anything you want to add to this?
No, it's just that the funding commitment process is continuing, so we cannot say anything at the moment. But eventually, you will have to do the math yourself because it depends on how many funding organizations that commit funding to the call module in question.
All right, thank you so much. I think we'll jump over to the next one. I still see the general success rate question, but I think we'll go over to, there we go. When the country list is unexpelled. Well, it's currently ongoing. We can just see that Estonia and Finland was not included in what's published online. They are in the call. Italy, for example, is not participating in this year's call. Throughout the next week, you will probably see more funding agencies and regions enter. Unfortunately, it's not final as of now. Maria, anything you want to add here as well?
We would say that it's final by the opening, but it could also add some after because different organizations have different processes that takes much more time than we have.
Yes. All right. Next question. Is it allowed for one party to participate in more than one proposal? If so, does this affect the evaluation outcomes of the decision made by CETPartnership and the national funding organizations in any way? Well, correct me if I'm wrong, Maria, but we don't have a rule against it, but maybe national regional requirements have rules against it. So please read those. And of course, usually it's not beneficial to be spread out thinly. So that may be a general advice. Next question. When we are eligible for 2 regional funding agencies, e.g. a country and a state of that country provide money, should we use the state or the country funding? The case would be Germany and its state Saxony, which both provide funding. If I understand the question correctly, you're asking which way is more. They're now kind of equal in your consortium, but I think here you would need to pay attention to the transnational requirement that you need 3 beneficiary partners from 3 different countries to be eligible.
I don't think that's what the meaning of the. I think it's if you choose among 2. You have to contact both and ask which is the best.
Yes, in that sense, correct. Okay. Yes.
That's how I think it is.
Okay, great. Thank you, Maria. Hello, looking at the call website, it seems there are no details about national requirements, in particular about maximum funding per project of each state and percentage funded per type of participant, which are critical information to form the consortia. Do you know when these will be published?
It will be continuously published until opening, but we haven't received everything yet from everyone and are doing the last check. So have a look at the website. It will be continuously be updated.
Yeah. Exactly. All right, next question. Italy, Portugal, Baltic states, Greece, and Cyprus do not participate at CET. Is there a reason? Is there a possibility that these countries will join and participate in CET during the next month? I assume that CET means CETPartnership, and that is just a spelling mistake.
I can comment on that. Baltic states are included, all three of them, so that is not an issue. Greece is also included. Italy has decided not to join. Portugal and Cyprus has not given any indications of joining, so I don't think they will join. And the next question is the same, so you can jump that one.
Thank you, Maria. You're the funding commitment expert here. All right, the next one therefore is it right that German partners outside of Saxony are not eligible for Module 4? I would refer you to the Saxon partners contact point for questions directly related to their.
It's correct. It's not a mistake that it's not a mark in that column.
All right. What about electrical vehicles and the active management of them? I'm wondering how this could be integrated in the different core modules. This is quite cost module specific, and from what you heard today, I would probably review the material and see where you see that fit and contact the person in that TRI. I don't think it's directly related to anything.
I just made a scan of the call text and found it mentioned for call module 2 and call module 8, and please contact those and discuss with them.
Great, thank you, Maria. All right, does that partnership require favor co-funding or in-kind contribution from respective parties? Interesting question.
No, there is no central demand of co-funding or in-kind contribution, but there may be from different funding organizations. So you have to check for each partner what they must do.
And now we have a question regarding our undersubscribed partners. Should be coordinators or just project partners? What if the scope of the proposal does not fit their activities?
Well, there is no demand of including undersubscribed partners. It's just a recommendation to check if it can work, since then it will be a likelihood that there is money for this project. But there is no demand about being coordinator, and if it doesn't fit, then you cannot include them. So It was just a tip on something.
All right. What is generally the co-financing rate required?
There is no general co-financing rate. It's maybe some funding organization having this demand, but no general.
And then again, with the funding commitment, as Maria mentioned, Italy is not joining, unfortunately. So we can maybe move on to the next. Do the project budget figures really include self-financing, or would that amount increase the project value?
That is mentioned in the call module text if it's included or not, but it's the call module limits are not hard limits. It's just recommendations.
Yep. Next question. Switzerland is not in the draft list of funding agency. Will CH universities be included in the call? Number one.
They will not this year.
All right. Now we also have maybe a more topic related question. What does low impact PV mean in detail? I think, Maria, would that be module 2 on top of my head? Module 3 maybe. I think if I have any TRI representatives here who might want to jump in to elucidate on the question, please feel free to do so, or else maybe refer the question. Yeah.
Ragnhild, well, I don't actually remember exactly the word low impact PV. Anyhow, it is referred to sustainability and to lowering the impact, for example, on the surface, reducing surface, or reducing any kind of resource consumption.
Thank you, Raquel. Amazing. It's very good to have experts in the room. Would a consortium formed by one Austrian university, one Swiss university, one Swiss research center, and one company from Belgium be eligible?
No, not in this call, since there are no funding organization from Switzerland committing funding. So then you would only have two eligible partners, and you would need a third one, which could be outside of Horizon Europe, but one of the funding organization for the call must be the third one.
All right. For stationary battery call module, is Second Life battery a consideration and within the scope of the project? So maybe we have Javier.
Yes, I can answer that. Yes, it is within the scope of the project as long as the aims of the call module are met otherwise.
Thank you so much, Javier. All right, and again, one more, is Italy included in any module? Unfortunately not, so I think we'll jump over that one. And I think this is also a more personal one, so I think we will skip it. And here we have Japan signed partnership agreement with Horizon from 2026. Is Japan a part of the CET partnership, as South Korea is?
No, they have not committed funding to the call, so they are not included.
All right. Next question: when timing is a national submission required at pre-proposal? I think if you mean the deadline, it's the 8th of October.
National submissions
National
could be,
submission
it
depends.
differs between different, so you have to look at your
Exactly.
national requirement.
So yeah, it's hard to read and answer at the same time, but let's continue a bit. What is the expected duration of the project? I think Maria also answered this in the technical chat. We do, I think, 12 months, Maria.
Yeah, but no, 36 months.
Yeah,
the
sorry.
maximum, and it's a general. So if there are any call modules that have a different expectations, you have to check it.
Thank you. A question on eligibility for the UK partners. I can see that Invest NI is the only funding agency in the UK. Does this mean that the organization in England are not eligible for this funding call?
Yes, that is what is meant, unless Invest Northern Ireland have some kind of connection to England, where people, if you have a connection to Northern Ireland, you could be involved there, but you will have to contact them and check that, but probably not.
That's great. Okay, so the clock is 24. I think are you okay to go for another 5 minutes, Maria, before you have to? Okay, perfect. Can independent advisors, sole traders be part of the consortia?
If you have your own, like a company, you cannot be involved as a person.
Yeah. Can you?
You must have a PIC number and a NASA code.
Can you explain how the continuous update of the call documents work? This was mentioned in the chat. Until when do you expect changes, and what kind of changes do you expect?
We update it all the time because we mainly include new countries and so on. But it will mainly be the Annex B in the future that is updated. We will post that soon. Because as more join, we will have to update that, of course. But the main text is probably not going to change. And if it is, we will include a history of changes.
Perfect. Thank you, Maria. And again, we're back to a question regarding our self-finance partners. Could you please explain if a self-finance partner and a non-self-finance partner from the same country exceed 75% of efforts in the project, or is this condition only for funded partners? So I think the question is whether
it's
the 75%.
It's for all involved, so it's not only the funded.
All right. Will the slides be provided to us? Absolutely, they will be provided. And also the recording of the session will be up on YouTube for later watching. Next question, do partners need co-funding in place at time of application, if not the lead applicants?
Yes, all partners must include their budget in the pre-proposal, and it cannot be changed. Minor changes can be done, but not major ones. So yes, you must have your funding in place, and you will just, if you are self-funding, it will need a description of where it comes from. And in the second stage, there is a need of a commitment letter for self-funding partners, but not in the first stage.
In the call text subsection 521, you can also read about kind of changes allowed from the different stages and so forth in general. All right, next question. The international patent is a multifunctional.
No, this is not a question. Please remove these kind of statements.
Okay.
This is not a question.
Thank you for noticing early on, Maria. I was about to read it all. Okay, let's continue. Are the 37 countries listed in the only countries where the projects can be, or are these the countries where the project developer has to be from?
That is very different. I mean, it can take place wherever the funding organizations allow you to make the project take place. But you can only get funding from those 37 countries listed. So you have to read the national requirements.
Yep. All right. Is nuclear energy or development, or SMRs, covered in the CETPartnership 2026? In which call modules? Unfortunately, we don't include any nuclear energy aspects in our call. So that's not there. Simply as simple as that. Next question. How is the IP process or split done with CET? Do you know what IP process mean, Maria?
We don't have any, we don't claim any IP, we don't claim IP within the partnership. You will have to do a consortium agreement within the project, and there may be issues with the national organizations, but not generally with that partnership.
Perfect. Thank you, Maria. All right, please finalize the submission outcomes of the last years. It's really helpful to also know about potential underfunded countries. Thank you for the comment. We are developing our website and hopefully also looking into information for future. So we'll take it into account. All right, next question. You have not yet mentioned nuclear energy. Is there any interest in it? I refer to my previous question. Unfortunately, it's nothing we cover. Next question. Does the budget range show the total project budget or the requested funding? Does the budget range?
It's different. You have to read the call module tables, what they say. Often it's the total, but it could also be excluded self-financed budget. So it differs among the call modules.
Next question again is 36 months. So we can maybe do the next one again. Yeah. Is it 1 minute to go, Maria, and then we're gonna end it. Is it possible for the Walloon region in Belgium to participate to these calls? If not, why? And how can Walloon region participate to these calls?
They are included. If they are not included in the website, it's a mistake. So we will have to check that.
Yeah. And maybe we can do the last two ones here before we wrap up and answer by writing. End user demonstrations is out of scope, yet validation is requested. Is that contradictory? I mean, it depends on which kind of section of today you're referring to. If there's any TRIs in the room who believe that this is a question addressed to them,
I can say that solely end user demonstration is out of scope.
Okay, for call module 6, yeah. Thank you. Good. Okay. And we're going to do the last question now. Is it possible to add our exchange partners after the pre-proposal submission?
I assume you mean the ineligible partners. If it's you can exchange that if that is what you mean with exchange partners. We don't, or you mean exchange partners afterwards. You should add all in the first step.
Yeah.
Because addition, the second step is there are only certain things that are allowed. So please include as many as possible from start.
Yeah, and you can see the changes allowed in the call text section 521 when it comes to cases of ineligible partners and swapping and so forth. Yeah. All right, I think we unfortunately have to end it there so Maria can catch her flight. We will answer the remaining questions in writing and publish them along with information from today. I think we can maybe end the Slido screen here and we'll go on to our closing comments. For questions that you want to direct to any of our parties here today, you can find them here. If you have questions about our process or applications submissions, evaluation, calendar, you can contact us as call management. For topic-related questions, reach out to the TRI offices. If you have questions regarding eligibility, national, regional eligibility, or contractual matters, check out your national funding agencies in the matrix on the site and their funding commitment documents. And you can find their contact there as well. For finding project partners, we have the matchmaking platform. We have matchmaking at CETPartnership.eu. You can also reach out to the EEN that we're presenting here today. For press, media, events, and other communication matters, reach out to our communication office. Again, we also will launch a new website that will hopefully be better at maneuvering the different information on the CET partnership and the call at large. So that's that slide, and maybe next one. Yes, again, a little shout out. Join our event and matchmaking platform where you can register to information events and find partners. Next slide, please. Here are some of our channels. Feel free to follow them for any news and updates, and also to rewatch any information events you might be interested in. Next slide, please. And I think that's actually it for today. I really want to say a huge thank you for all who participated here today. It's amazing that we see such an increased interest in the CET partnership. Also, huge thank you to our colleagues working within the CET partnership for helping us elucidate on all the different parts. It's not an easy job. And with that, I wish everyone a happy lunch and a happy Tuesday. And feel free to reach out, and good luck with the application process. Thank you so much.